This past weekend, a neighbor friend of mine and I went with a group out camping near San Felipe in Baja California. We were taken with a group called Vamanos de Camping and a San Felipe hiking adventure out to the Valley of the Giants, which is known for its gigantic cacti. So they tend to be, 30, 40 feet high, and it's a beautiful place to walk through. It's desert and hot, so we started in the afternoon. We did run into a snake. That was one of the highlights of the trip, is seeing a baby, rattlesnake or something. It was supposed to be 27 kilometers, which I believe maps out to about 17 or 18 miles. I walked the first 5 or 6 miles and then ended up getting a ride to the last point because these hiking trips tend to be pretty difficult, and as much as I wanted to test my spirit, I didn't have anything to prove, and so I really wanted to hike the last leg with my friend, and he's a runner, so he went ahead, and I was thinking, well, I got to find a way to catch up. So I got to both walk and drive through the Valley of the Giants. It was a beautiful time, and when we ended up meeting up with my friend again, we were on the beach side, so think the Sea of Cortez. Absolutely gorgeous place to be. And the last leg of the hike was all along the water. And it was sunset, so there were sand dunes, and it was just absolutely stunningly beautiful. It was a great time to be there. It ended up being 18 kilometers along this rugged patch of beach that is not very well traveled. There's not very many people that go there, and so it ended up being quite a trek. We didn't end up getting back to camp probably until 1 o'clock in the morning. Gorgeous. We were hiking by almost a full moon at night and just really hearing the sounds of the ocean, kind of the tide changing and going over rocks and through sand, and came across all kinds of stuff. We saw a dead whale. There were actually 3 cars that got stuck in the sand, and that was a bit of an adventure. Seriously, one car, in fact, had to stay in the water overnight to wait for the tide to go down because the Sea of Cortez pretty much just gobbled it up. They couldn't get it out. So that was a nighttime adventure. But all in all, it was totally worth it. It was stunningly beautiful, and I have no regrets. I think in total, I probably hiked 15 miles instead of, 18. And on the way home from San Felipe back to our place near Rosarito, we happened across some racing. And so we stopped for lunch and got to watch all of the, what do they call them? The off-road cars kind of get ready and gear up. And we stopped at a checkpoint, and they were all just kind of zipping by. And I had never seen that before, so that was an adventure too. It was the coolest. So all of this to say, this is all practice for this big trip. It's going to be filled with adventure.